Alright, so I'm back. A bit tired, as you can tell. I'm also not trying to make. I'm also trying not to make a lot of sound. But anyways, yeah, I guess I'm not gonna watch much. Watch much. Yeah, so I have these two maps that I want to run. I guess I can watch this Ryan Meglis video, sure. Or Sarcasmatron, actually. I feel like, yeah, I like Sarcasmatron a lot. Can you make a new video? No. Yeah, he's like a quality over quantity type of guy. I can watch the Ryan Meglis video, then fuck it. He doesn't always get things right, and like, not, I mean, obviously, nobody does, but yeah, it's not like a favorite channel of mine. But let's see if there's anyone else. Oh wait, Perun. New video. He dropped a new video. God, I just can't. My heart doesn't take this shit like anymore. Like what Russia is doing to Ukraine is just so fucking cruel. But yeah, I just want to fucking forget about it, but I can't. And a lot of people forgetting about it is not even an option for Ukrainians. But fuck it, I'll watch this video instead then. These prisons, these is that Naya prisons? It's fucking horrifying what's going on in there.
Because I'm gone.
Like I can't really have this.
Not a lot of sleep. I spent the past couple of days at Aeromed Lab's new test site in Nevada, running a WeFunder if you're interested in investing. But anyway, today I want to talk about something that's pretty close to my heart, which is Syria. I actually have an uncle who is Syrian. The news coming out of Syria this morning is monumental. After years of turmoil, Bashar al Assad has fled the country, the government has collapsed, and now Bashar al
Good riddance for this fucking demon, I would say.
Assad is in Russia. Rebel groups like HTS are now holding key cities. This is a moment of incredible opportunity and also incredible danger. I know some of you are watching this from inside Syria. Let me say something to you directly. Please don't fight amongst yourselves. You know, you have fought too hard and sacrificed too much to let this moment slip into more chaos. If you want a brighter future for your children, it is a time to unite, not fracture. Well, here's where things stand. The Assad regime is gone, but two major foreign powers remain deeply embedded in Syria. That's Russia and Iran. Russia has long had a vested interest in Syria. They operate one air base and that naval facility at Tartus. They have, it's basically their two strategic footholds in the Mediterranean. With Assad gone, Russia is scrambling to secure these installations. They supposedly reached out to the opposition, trying to negotiate some sort of deal to kind of keep the bases intact. I don't know whether that will happen, but here's the catch. Without Assad, Russia's influence in Syria is waning. If Syrians push for true independence, this could be an opportunity to renegotiate Russia's role or even phase it out entirely. Now, let's talk about Iran. Tehran
Um, okay, I'll just lower the volume slightly.
has invested billions in propping up Assad and arming militias like the Boys in Yellow to keep their influence alive in Syria. With the regime gone, Iran probably isn't just going to walk away quietly. This was a substantial investment. Alabam lam tan tahi. The game is not over, man. Iran might try to embed itself further by backing certain factions or exploiting certain sectarian divisions. We're already starting to see some people claiming that Christians are being harassed by Islamist forces. I don't know how true that is, and there's a lot of old footage out there that could be spread to say, look, ISIS is coming back in Syria. A lot of misinformation out there, guys, especially if Russia has a vested interest in manufacturing some sort of Islamic threat. The Syrians, they have to be vigilant. Accepting foreign meddling again, whether from Iran, whether from Russia, or anybody else, reopens mistakes of the past. And speaking of foreign meddling, we got to talk about Turkey. Ankara has already made moves in northern Syria, and Turkish-backed forces are already fighting Kurdish troops. And we kind of knew this was going to happen. To my Syrian viewers, I implore you, be wary of trading one foreign entanglement for another. Turkey has its own agenda, and a big part of that is targeting Kurdish groups as they label terrorists. If Turkey takes too much leverage, it could lead to more bloodshed, especially for minorities like the Kurds who have suffered enough. So let's pivot to the rebels. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and other groups, they basically have control. But leadership isn't just about taking cities, it's about building a future. Democracy isn't easy, but it is the best way forward. There's another Arabic proverb that goes, al-hadal al-sas al-mulk, justice is the foundation of government. If you want a lasting peace, justice must be your guide. Create systems where every Syrian, whether they're Arab, Kurd, Christian, Muslim, or Alawite, feels heard and valued. This is where I want to challenge all of you watching in Syria. You've overthrown a dictator, alhamdulillah, but don't replace him with a new form of tyranny. Build institutions that represent the people, not just the most powerful actors. Look at history. The strongest nations are ones whose power is shared, not hoarded. It is not going to be easy. Iraq is a perfect example of how an amazing people can do things so wrong without careful planning. But if you learn from others' mistakes and focus on unity instead of sectarian violence, there is a hope for a democratic Syria. All right, so what happens next? Russia's going to try hard to keep their bases, right? The Syrians must ensure that these negotiations benefit their sovereignty, not just Moscow's interests. Iran they'll probably double down on their proxies. Syria should reject any attempts to turn that country into another battleground for Iran's ambitions. The future should be about Syria, not what the mullahs in Tehran want. And Turkey, those guys are just going to keep pushing their agenda north in Syria. Be very careful not to give them too much control, no matter how much money, weapons, and drones that they dangle in front of you. Look, I really appreciate you guys watching, especially while I've been down in Texas doing Aeromed Lab stuff. This video is under Creative Commons, so feel free to take it, feel free to translate it to Arabic, feel free to spread it. And if you speak English instead of Arabic, grab a copy of my book, The Wind Machine. It's a story about a hedge fund manager who discovers information about a possible limited nuclear exchange with China. For watching.
The video is short. Yeah, sure, I'll watch this video then.
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful. That'll
Like, he's just doing the thing, right? This is what Trump just did. He just repeated like 5 slogans that mean nothing.
The fact that there are these allegations against him, misconduct, sexual misconduct, heavy drinking, the fact that he said to some senators reportedly he'll stop drinking if he gets this job, does that worry you?
Wait. He don't. Oh no! Hold on.
we shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let it become a state.
What? What?
Sir, you said during the campaign you had concepts of a plan. Do you have an actual plan at this point for health care?
Yes,
Oh my God, he does?
we have concepts of a plan that would.
President-elect Donald Trump, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. You are the first president since Grover Cleveland.
Oh, it's even infected the mainstream media. Did this come from alternative media or did it come from mainstream media first? I just don't understand what you gain from putting cameras on these stupid moving bars. What are you adding? It's so stupid.
Thank you so much for being here. You are the first president since Grover Cleveland to win non-consecutive terms. Republicans now have control of the House and the Senate.
Right.
What do you plan to accomplish in your first 100 days in office?
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful. That'll be our first signal, and the first signal to America that we're not playing games. We have people coming in by the millions, as you know, and a lot of people shouldn't be here. Most of them shouldn't be here, but we have jails being emptied into our country. We have mental institutions from all over the world being
Still
emptied
obsessed with
into
the
our
mental
country. So
institutions, bro. Asylum. He thinks that means mental asylum. I'm not sure why nobody's telling him that, or just knows, but just continues with it.
we'll be doing that. We're going to be extending within that period, or as soon as we can, the Trump tax cuts, because, you know, they're coming due and they're very substantial for people. And it would be very, I think it will anger a lot of people, frankly, if we don't get an extension of that. That's what led us to one of the greatest economies ever. And
Some guy emailed me. It's so stupid. This is all I hear now. I think this is right. We need to just do this. I don't even want to. God, it's so boring. It's all good. I'm just gonna go back to video games. I watched the clip of you reading the email that uses a motorcycle hobby analogy in the context of modern social media to explain how politics is just slogans, quote unquote, now. I'm concerned that you're going down a path of rediscovering things that have been true in this country for a long time, so it's best to read from people who've already done the heavy lifting for you. The following is a quote from a book published in 2003. More details down below. Words italicized are mine. To add clarifying context, I can't add it all in here. Quote, democracy does have decisive advantages, at least for the wealthy, secure societies, over alternative forms of government. But they are not advantages that depend on deliberation, on analogies to scientific inquiry, on a lively and informed public interest in public issues, or in civic mindedness. People's interests, preferences, and opinions influence government, certainly, certainly through the electoral process and otherwise, but not in the way that views expressed in a faculty meeting influence faculty decisions through debate and polling of ideas. The roles of the people at large in the governance of a large democratic nation is a mere shadow of its role in the concept of deliberative democracy. People know when things are going well or going badly, and then he adds, to the extent that things are as they believe them to be, whether for themselves personally or for the nation as a whole. Their own welfare is, of course, bound up with the nation's and will vote accordingly, but that's about it. The political parties know this, and so their campaigns appeal mainly to interests rather than the good, and do so largely in simplistic slogans, end quote. The author goes on to argue that it wouldn't even be desirable to aim for an idealistic system where people as a whole are, quote, better informed, end quote, and become better engaged with information/media, and it makes a pretty compelling case for its position. This is a passage from the book Law, Pragmatism, and Democracy by Richard Posner, a former Seventh Circuit judge from the Court of Appeals. This is probably the best book that explains American democracy with a focus on pragmatism. If you were to read it, you would immediately see a clear path forward. You're wasting a lot of time being surprised by Vivek, Musk, Trump, Rogan, Techno Bros, Tim Pool, etc., spreading fake news and easy to understand slogans. Yes, they are doing it on purpose, and no, they are not stupid. Okay, Rogan is stupid, but he is a useful puppet, and his podcast is a gold mine for these people and the IDW-type folk. I would be surprised to find out that they didn't talk about Rogan being an idiot behind closed doors. You're being dumber than them by not accepting that this is how things work, and you have to start employing their strategies if you want to stand a chance. Remember that webcam video of Ben Shapiro soying out at Tim Walz after he was chosen as Kamala's running mate? That's conservatives see when they see you soying out about Rogan saying the millionth dumb shit. They just think it's funny. Quote, I'm going to build a wall, and Mexico is going to pay for it, end quote. 2 sentences, that's it, sometimes 3, but more than that, you've lost people. Use their example. To be clear, I'm not saying that you should lie and spread fake news, but your messaging needs to become way more reductive. Reserve explanations or substantive conversations/debates with people like Pisco or the unicorn conservatives like the tax guy who engage in good faith. Oh, that, I think he's referring to a debate I had a couple weeks ago. If they're not in this category, flip a switch and go into sophistry mode. Your over-reliance on intellectual or logical or nuanced defenses and attacks is starting to look like an issue of display of ego because it's clear that using dumb language would be more effective. Let it go and be effective. Example, to Tim Pool or Rubin, quote, you're a Russian puppet and you got paid because Russia loves your anti-American message, end quote. Whatever the reply is, the best strategy is to repeat that slogan. That's what Tim Pool would be doing to you. Don't let opportunities like this slip away. I think this is kind of how, I think this is the position that I kind of stumbled upon when I realized, like, for the media, like, you have to just find a simple thing and repeat it, like, on peers, like, what is this? Answer this. What is this? This was bad. This is dumb. This is bad. Like, and it just needs to be that. Because I think going any further than that is just a waste of time, which is sad and stupid. This is what Trump just did. He just repeated, like, 5 slogans that mean nothing. Like, what is, like...
It's from all over the world being emptied into our country, so...
Jails are being emptied into our country. Insane people are coming over. They don't belong here. Build the wall. Tax cuts. And, like, that's it. It's just, like nothing here is... Everything here is...
It's Grover Cleveland to win non-consecutive terms. Republicans now have control.
He never expands on it. I feel like what Donald Trump has done...
the boss is here, too.
...is... I feel like we all kind of, like, played a game... And then we all, but we pretend that we're not playing the game. And then Donald Trump is like, wait a second, this is just a game, right? So I can just, like, do this, right? And then it's like, well, we're not supposed to do it like that. But I mean, I guess you technically could. You know what it kind of reminds me of? In the 90s and 2000s, I guess, like, people loved, like, the huge tittied chick with, like, fake boobs, right? It was a thing. It was a look for a while before the girl next door then kind of became popular. But, like, people loved that fake boober, the Pamela Andersons and all the plastic surgery shit. But people would always say, or at least my recollection is people would be like, I want a chick with huge tits, right? And then you'd be like, you know her tits are fake, right? And be like, no, I just want huge tits or whatever. I want huge knockers, huge boobs, okay? But in 2024, living in Miami Beach, guys don't even say, and I understand this is like a hyper crazy part of the world, but, like, guys here won't even say, I want a girl with huge tits, wink, wink, or I want a girl with a huge ass, wink, wink. They'll be like, I want the BBL. I want the fake tits. Like, they call out for that directly. And it's very interesting to see kind of the shift, at least down here in Miami Beach. I don't know if this has like made its way to other parts of the country or world or podcast space or whatever, but I'm like, interesting. But that's not what your audience is built on. We like being well informed and not getting dumb, simplistic messaging, so it doesn't really apply to you, does it? Well, no, not on my stream. I wouldn't just sloganeer on my stream, but I would, like, when I prepare for debates, I should be
Whoa.
preparing for debates more like that.
Oh shit!
If you really think about all the debates I've had, all of my most like epic own moments are usually me asking a very simple question or making a very simple point. Like with the Owen Schroyer thing, it was the dinosaur question. Or it was like, what's the difference between a democracy and a republic? Do you even know what that is? Like, it's usually like I can't think of any own moments like where it's like, oh, epic shit, where it's like Destiny lays out complicated and nuanced explanation of a thing, and then the person gets owned. Usually they just like move on, and it doesn't even stick. The Ukraine speech was good. Yeah, but that wasn't a debate, really, right? I was just like I was just narrativizing, basically. Which is good, too. Narrativizing is something I need to do as well. It's narrativizing and then punchy lines. Like, if I know more, or if I know something and the person's not ready for me to know it, then they just, like, move on. It's like, oh, okay. And then they just move on. It's like, wait, I don't even feel like I got a good own here. It just, wait, what just happened? What was the point? What was the point of this? I didn't get anything for this.
Into this country come in. It's not complex.
And then to be clear, you think that that's the case right now?
That's the case right now. And that is the case what the Democrats want. That is correct. They have sanctuary cities all over my state.
Excuse me, sanctuary city has nothing to do with immigration policy.
Oh, sure as it does. If you are here illegally, we will not allow ICE or anyone else to take you away. You can come. That's what sanctuary city means.
That is not what a sanctuary city is. That's not what a sanctuary... Sure, I can tell you what it means. When it comes to enforcing immigration, that is exclusively in the purview of the United States government. Now, it tends to be the case that if you're a state official, you can collect information about whether or not a person's here legally or not. And if you want, you can turn that information over to federal authorities, like Immigration and Customs Enforcement or like Department of Homeland Security. You don't have an obligation to do so. And some cities explicitly say we won't. So a sanctuary city is just a city where they arrest you. They're not going to do an immigration check, and if you fail, they're going to turn you over to the federal authorities. As somebody that is a conservative, who I imagine would have an appreciation for the concept of federalism, but the important protections of states' rights, because that's what we said when we threw abortion back to the states, you should champion a state deciding whether or not they would want to cooperate with a federal authority when it comes to turning somebody over for matters of deportation. But essentially, so like on paper, okay, well, so he thought I didn't know what this meant. Not only do I know what it means, I also know why he's wrong, and I know why it's contradictory to his own ideology. You're a conservative. You believe in states' rights. Why would you sit here and be bullying individual states to comply with federal government something they don't agree with, right? So I feel like this is pretty, but it doesn't really hit or matter because he's just like, oh, okay, and then we just move on. Sanctuary city does not legalize illegal immigration. It's just whether or not a city wants to cooperate with federal investigators when it comes to turning over an undocumented citizen or immigrant.
Fine. Okay, we can continue.
Do you agree with that, Dennis? I mean, what was the point of that? I should have just called him like a fucking loser. I should have said you're a loser with glasses or something. I don't know. Like, what was it? What was even the point of that? I didn't even get like there's no catharsis. It's like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it comes off as an own, but. The optics were good here, no? Yeah, I guess, but he just like moves on. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know, man. Whatever.
Of the House and the Senate, right. What do you plan to accomplish in your first 100 days in office?
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful.
Something with the border,
like,
something.
He's just doing the thing, right? Like, what do we need to do about jobs? We need to give unions the power to make workers better, and so everybody can have better jobs and be working way better. Like, that's like his answer to everything, and it works.
Yeah,
100 days in office.
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful. That'll be our first signal, and the first signal to America that we're not playing games. We have people coming in by the millions, as you know, and a lot of people shouldn't be here. Most of them shouldn't be here, but we have jails being emptied into our country. We have mental institutions from all over the world being emptied into our country. So we'll be doing that. We're going to be extending within that period, or as soon as we can, the Trump tax cuts, because, you know, they're coming due and they're very substantial for people. And it would be very, I think it will anger a lot of people, frankly, if we don't get an extension of that. That's what led us to one of the greatest economies ever. And those two things are going to be very vital, very important. We're going to be focusing on crime in the cities, and we'll work with Democrat governors. Most of them are, as you know, if you look at the 25 worst places, they're just about all Democrat-controlled cities and states, and we're going to be working with Democrat governors and Democrat mayors.
That's not fucking true. In fact, the opposite is true, but okay. I mean, not okay. Fuck that. Stop saying okay to this shit. I should do that. I should stop saying okay. This is fucking bullshit. This is everything that comes out of his fucking mouth.
And I look forward to doing it, but we have to do something about crime, and mostly in our cities.
Like, what do you, like, yeah, tell us what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, we have
What
to
do you
do
mean?
something. Something, bro. Something.
What do you mean we have to do something about what? Like, do what?
Do what?
Oh my God. This guy in chat just said, have you realized that Family Guy was always right about politics? And I already know what you linked without even clicking it. I'm going to copy link address, and I already know what it is. It's Lewis saying 9/11, isn't it?
What do you plan to do about crime in our city?
A lot. 9/11 was bad.
What are your plans for cleaning up our environment?
9/11.
What about our traffic problem?
9/11.
And we're going to have a lot of other things. We'll be working on nominations. We're going to still be working on some nominations. I think they're going very well. We have, for the most part, I think they're going extremely well. It looks like Peter's doing well now. I mean, people were a little bit concerned. He's a young guy with a tremendous track record, actually. He went to Princeton and went to Harvard. He was a good student at both, but he loves the military, and I think people are starting to see it. So we'll be working on his nomination along with a lot of others.
We are going to...
Like, what is the responsibility of the media here, I guess? Like,
Nothing. They don't have a responsibility. Making more money. More money.
I don't know. Like, this sounds to me... Have you ever... Where are my writers at? You ever get an essay in class? And it's like, what were the 3 most important determinative factors in the beginning of World War I? And you're like, oh, and it's like... in the early 1900s, there were a lot of things happening in Europe. And many societies and people viewed these things in different ways. There were a number of these situations that increased tensions across multiple countries that caused people to lose faith in the alliances that they had formed and led to the countries becoming involved in war with each other. Many countries believed that, you're like, okay, syntactically, grammatically it works, but you're not saying anything. You're like, how much? Oh my God, okay, it's a 10-point question. I'm going for 6. I know I can get 6 points if I just write enough words. Because what you do is, if you had the naive teachers, because you'd write bullshit like this, and then a teacher might be grading it, and they might call you up and be like, what did you mean when you said this? Because you can look it up after. It's like, oh, well, when I said some countries might have issues, that what I was referring to, because then you like read it after the class, like, oh, it was about this. Like, oh no, obviously, I'm sorry, I should have been more specific here, right? Oh, I wasn't, I'm sorry, I didn't really want something with more specificity. But you're just making shit up, and you know it. But I guess people just don't realize this, or they don't.
They're retarded.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We'll be working on his...
These are S-tier procrastination and bullshitting strats that only people with ADHD know? No, this has to be an ordinary student thing. I'm sure every student does the bullshitting. Like, you can write a whole-ass, bullshit-ass essay on, like, sample essay question, anthropology of Rome, final exam. Okay. Like, this would be some shit where you haven't, like, prepared at all. Okay. How have mortuary practices changed from the Middle Paleolithic to modern civilizations? How in particular have human mortuary practices come to be used as a means of marking social distinctions? Mortuary, I think, is dead people, right? The modern approach to the treatment of deceased people has dramatically changed throughout the years, alongside other cultural factors that influence how we view death. In the past, people treated their dead in a way that largely coincided with the individual
Nice QFA.
and
That's the one, right?
and cultural beliefs
I don't know. Sorry, actually, it was her. Maybe it is.
beliefs held by those societies at
Oh,
the
it was.
time.
No, it
But in
wasn't.
modern times, we have different sets of standards influenced more by things like science and health. I don't know, like I could write like 3 pages of an answer, but I'm not saying anything. I don't know any of the answer. I have no idea, but you can just like bullshit, right? And you bullshit, you do an answer like this when the question is worth 10 points and you don't know the answer, but you want to go for like 4 to 6 points. You know you can get like 4 to 6 points as long as you just like bullshit with enough vague generalities like this. But like if you had, there are certain teachers, right? Once I did, like I could do this in my early English classes, but then in my AP English classes, you couldn't get away with an answer like this. Because the teacher would look at you and be like, tell me one like fact, give me one thing of substance that you've said here. And you're like, fuck, I don't know. Or they'll ask you like, specific, and you're like, I don't fucking know. Like the teacher knew when you were bullshitting. But like this answer is clearly bullshit, right? That was my strategy through the school systems with UK and Georgia, and I finished with great grades without basically knowing anything. A little bit late, but you should have asked Piers about the Hunter Biden if he still would have had an issue with it if Joe always said he'd pardon him. You know him, and these conservatives still would have bitched about it, probably, yeah.
His nomination, along with a lot of others.
We are going to delve into your nominations, but since you
delve, good one.
bring him up, do you still have confidence in Pete Hegseth?
Delve.
Yes, I
No shit. They won't.
do. I really do. He's a very smart guy.
God, I hate the fucking media brainwashing this idiot.
I've known him through Fox, but I've known him for a long time. And he's basically a military guy. I mean, every time I talk to him, all he wants to talk about is the...
Kind of related, is this messaging not an education issue? Like Americans are dumb due to poor education standards and bad practices. So in a way, the Republicans are right about the Department of Education being dog shit. However, their solution is worse. I don't know if this is an education issue because I think people know this. I think it's, you know what? I actually said this a long time ago. I've believed this for a long time. I probably said this like 10 plus years ago, that I think one of the most important qualities that a human being can have is curiosity. Because I think what curiosity does is it extends, I think what curiosity really is it's an extension of your critical thinking skills into areas that aren't directly something that you deal with every single day in a specialized manner. So for instance, if I was like a car mechanic or something, and, you know, I was asking a guy, like, what kind of spark plugs do I need or some shit, and a guy gave, like, a bullshit-ass answer, I'd be like, bro, what the f*** are you talking about? Or, like, I need to know what type of oil this car takes. Like, I don't know what you're saying right now. This is bullshit. But then as soon as it comes to an area that's right outside of your direct specialization, people's brains, like, shut off, and they don't apply those same critical things. It's like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Whatever the f*** you said sounds great. I think that's the issue, I think. Yeah.
The military. He's a military guy. I used to kid him about it. I didn't think would be in this position where he may be, hopefully will be Secretary of Defense. But every time I was with him, he was fighting for soldiers, where he said some soldier was unjustly put in prison because they were really doing what they were taught to do. He may be a military guy.
Do you think that curiosity can be taught or learned, or do you think it's an innate trait of a person? I don't. I have no idea. I'm not sure. Are there more curious societies? I'm not sure.
Military guy. I mean, every time I talk to him, all he wants to talk about is the military. He's a military guy. I used to kid him about it. I didn't think he would be in this position where he may be, hopefully will be Secretary of Defense. But every time I was with him, he was fighting for soldiers, where he said some soldier was unjustly put in prison because they were really doing what they were taught to do, in some cases. So, yeah, I think he's going to do fine.
The fact that...
What is he... Is he talking about the Blackwater people? During Trump's first term in office, Hegseth lobbied for the pardons of Army Lieutenant Clint Lawrence and Army Major Matthew Goldstein. This guy's name. This guy has spent every single year of his life a million times re-explaining how his name is spelled. Matthew? With one T? And then Goldstein, or Goldstein, okay, and they're like, okay, how do you spell this? G-O-L-D, no, not Goldstein, Goldstein, G-O-L-S, Goldstein, okay, Goldstein, G-O-L-S-T-E-I-N, right? No, G-O-L-S-T-E-Y-N, Goldstein, Jesus, what the fuck is his name? Matthew, one T, what? Why do you guys keep, I hate this, don't make me defend Hassan, don't make me defend Hassan, please stop making me defend Hassan. I don't ever want to be in this position where I have to defend Hassan. When Hassan tweets out here, oh, hey, everyone, it's time to care about dead babies in Syria, social media told me so, isn't Hassan making fun of the fact that nobody in the West gives a f when Middle Easterners are dying, except for whenever there's some story in the media and now you're supposed to care? Isn't that what, this is what the tweet is saying, no? Everybody keeps bringing this up, like Hassan is saying that, like, f dead babies in Syria. We only have to care about them because the media is saying. Why? I don't know why you retards keep bringing this up, like Hassan hates Syria. Now, you can argue that he hates Syrians because he supported Assad in a different manner, but this is not, I don't think that's what this tweet is. He doesn't think he's doing the thing. He's doing that, but he is. He doesn't think he's doing that, but he is, so the tweet is ironic. Okay. I don't think that's why most people are making fun of this tweet. There is a way that you can see this tweet as being funny because he only cares about, I don't think that's what's going on here. Pretty sure people just think he's being anti-whatever Syrian civilian, but okay. Does him supporting Assad paint that in a different light completely? No, I think him supporting Assad is bad. I think that is what you would say is like leading to the, I think, a very anti-Arab position, but I don't think people read that tweet rightly.
There are these allegations against...
It's like, it reminds me of that one woman who got canceled. I think it was like one of the first big like Twitter cancellations of all time, where there was this like pretty progressive lady, I think, and she tweeted out something like, going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS, just kidding, I'm white. Well, I think this was supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek making fun of her kind of like white privilege, but then this got, I think this got interpreted as like, oh, excuse me, AIDS is for black people? And then, yeah. And then I think her life was basically destroyed when she landed from this flight. She was the Anne Frank of our generation. True. How did Justine Sacco get a PR job? Her level of racist ignorance belongs to Fox News. I'm confused why I'm seeing far-right people defend Assad. Isn't their entire position that white people shouldn't care about the Middle East? Like, I've seen, like, 4 neo-Nazis support Assad on Twitter. What's going on right now? Bro, the Middle East is literally a choose-your-own-adventure story. Or it's like ad-libs, almost. Like, you can pick any leader you want in the Middle East, and you can support them basically from any political ideology, depending upon which set of facts that you choose. So if I was a neo-Nazi, I would back Assad, and I would back Syria, because the Assads are based. They never made peace with Israel. They never trusted those fucking Jews. They're always working in conjunction with people like Hezbollah. They haven't even formally settled borders with the fucking Jewish people. Unlike Egypt and Jordan that cucked out to Israel, they still maintain their active front with them. Like, Well, it was a DMZ, but like, I mean, like you can, so I mean, from that perspective, you're a neo-Nazi, you could support Assad for that reason, I guess. Yeah, you can always find, again, in the Middle East, there's always a reason to support any group, depending on how retarded you want to be.
I think he's going to do fine.
The fact that there are these allegations against him, misconduct, sexual misconduct, heavy drinking, the fact that he said to some senators reportedly he'll stop drinking if he gets this job, does that worry you?
Wait. Is this the Hegseth guy or whatever? You said he'll stop drinking? Wait, what? Is she talking about Hegseth here? Is he an alcohol? Is he an alcoholic or wait, what is that? There's a great Onion article headline, Their Destiny, Alcoholic Secretary of State vows to enter rehab on confirmation. He's an alcoholic rapist. Well, like he only rapes when he's drunk, or? Now, if he did have a drinking problem, that would be obvious, but to make something out of it that isn't there just because he's going through Secretary of Defense, the media should be ashamed of themselves. What? Just as a heads up, okay, take this as a life advice thing. Don't look at chat, because chat's going to steer you wrong, because people don't know anything about alcoholics or drinking in my community, okay? If somebody is an alcoholic, all right, that can be very difficult to tell from the outside if you don't spend a lot of time with them. People can be incredibly wasted, and you don't have any idea whatsoever, other than maybe smelling it on their breath. But yeah, especially people who are alcoholics. These people can put away an ungodly amount of alcohol, and you wouldn't even know that they're drunk. You would have no idea whatsoever that the person you're talking to has like a massive blood alcohol content. So the idea that you would just know if somebody's a drunk, I mean, if you spend enough time with them or if you live with them or whatever, you can see this bleed out in their life in other ways. But that goes for a lot of drugs too. Maybe. I wouldn't be able to speak on that experience. I'm not sure. I don't know if it goes for a lot of drugs, actually. The thing is, once you're an alcoholic, you almost need a certain amount of alcohol just to be stable. Like, you're going to seem more unhinged without alcohol than you are with alcohol. But I guess no, that's probably true for a lot of different addictions, actually. Like, I'm thinking like cigarette smokers without their cigarettes go crazy, or like House without his Vicodin goes crazy. So yeah, that might be the case. Yeah.
Can stop. Some people can stop eating. I'm lucky I'm not a drinker, but I could stop eating. And we all want to stop doing something. And if he said that, I mean, it's a nice thing to say. That's a good.
Like, listen to all. I'm sorry. This is just the game, I guess. Now I feel like a retard. This is probably the whole time, and I'm just retarded. And this is just always what it is. You just like say random. This is just it. Now I want to try to do like an hour interview where I just answer questions like this.
No, I think that everybody has something that they can stop. Some people can stop eating. I'm lucky I'm not a drinker, but I could stop eating. And we all want to stop doing something. And if he said that, I mean, it's a nice thing to say. That's a good thing to say. But he's very respected. I can tell you, I know a lot of the people at Fox, they think he's fantastic. And the people that work with him, really, they love him. So I think you're going to have somebody that's really terrific.
I actually knew an extremely high-functioning heroin addict, and nobody else knew until he died from getting fent in his bag when it first hit the scene. Yeah, people don't, because we talk so stupidly about drugs. Like, you can be a high-functioning addict of almost any kind of drug. Like, there are lots of people that do heroin or amphetamines or whatever regularly and abuse them, and can still go on to like have relatively ordinary lives, work their jobs or whatever. I mean, you're paying a great health toll, and you're taking a big risk by doing this because there are a bunch of side effects, like knock-on effects to your health that will happen. But yeah, a lot of people think that like, oh, you do this drug once and you're gone, you're gonna die. And typically, unless you're getting something incredibly potent that you weren't aware of, like fentanyl, or if you have like some other complication, like a health thing that is uncovered by doing a drug that kills you, like generally doesn't happen here. Don't mistake that. That's not a encouragement to do drugs, just to be aware of. You should be aware of like the effects of drugs.
And the people that work with him, really, they love him. So I think you're going to have somebody that's really terrific. And again, all he talked about with me, I said, you know, you're not really a television guy, even though he did very well, as you know. You're really a military guy. He said, I'm all about the military. And I told him, so he's making a lot of money at Fox. They're doing very well. And I said, you know, if for some reason you don't get this thing, you're not going to be able to go back. and all that money you're making, you can kiss it goodbye. He said, this is all about America. You know, he didn't say, well, let me think about it, let me discuss it.
Probably made that up.
That's a very big, risky thing he's doing. When he goes and he says, I'm going to give up, millions of dollars in order to possibly become the Secretary of Defense. A lot of people would say it's a great position. It's probably almost no greater position, but a lot of people would say, I have to think about it. He said, I don't have to think about it.
All right, we're going to delve into...
Like, why does he get to answer a question like that? Why are you allowed to do that? That's crazy, man.
He loves that shit. The mainstream.
Your cabinet picks a little bit later, but I want to delve into one of your signature promises on the campaign trail, which was to end inflation, to lower prices. You are now proposing tariffs against the United States' three biggest trading partners. Economists of all stripes say that ultimately consumers pay the price of tariffs.
I don't believe
Can you guarantee
believe
American
that.
families won't pay more?
I don't believe that.
I can't guarantee anything. I can't guarantee.
What are you even here for? What the fuck?
Guarantee tomorrow, but I can say that if you look at just pre-COVID, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And I had a lot of tariffs on a lot of different countries, but in particular China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we had no inflation. In fact, when I handed it over, they didn't have inflation for a year and a half. They went almost 2 years, just based on what I had created.
Destiny, surely you also acknowledge that being an alcoholic in particular affects the cognitive state in a guy that has to probably have a clear state of mind almost 24/7. I just think that's not okay. I don't actually know. I'm not sure. I'm sure it must. It must. But like, as somebody who has spent time with alcoholics, I'm just telling you, I had no clue what an alcoholic was like until I like spent a few days with one. Bro, this person must have put away like 15 to 20 mixed drinks in a day. I would have never known they were drunk. I had no idea, no concept of it. I didn't even realize it. I'm just like, what do we, and it's like wake up and it's like, let's go to breakfast. And then it's like 3 mimosas. And I'm like, what the f? And then from there to the bar, I'm like, holy shit, you're insane. But the person is just like, they're lucid and they seem pretty normal the whole time. I'm sure it must be less optimal in terms of IQ, or I would imagine, but I mean, like, you're a human being. Your brain is a wonderfully complicated thing, capable of learning and exercising so many tasks. Like, you probably don't need that much of it to just like get through the day and like work or whatever, right? Like, you probably shouldn't be flying an airplane, but like, could you do an ordinary job while being an alcoholic? Possibly. But like, yeah.
And then they created inflation with energy and with spending too much. So I think I'm a big believer in tariffs. I think tariffs are the most beautiful word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico.
Like, what does that mean? We're subsidizing Canada. No, hold on. He doesn't mean a trade deficit, right? The United States has a services trade surplus. Wait. This is $50 billion. Is he saying we're subsidizing? A subsidy is when the government spends money on a particular thing. Is he saying that a trade deficit is a subsidy?
Word. I think they're beautiful. It's going to make us rich. We're subsidizing Canada to the tune of over $100 billion a year. We're subsidizing Mexico for almost $300 billion. We shouldn't be subsidizing. Why are we subsidizing these countries? If we're going to subsidize them, let them become a state.
Huh? What is he talking about? What? We all know that's what he's saying. How are you social? I've never heard him describe trade deficits as subsidies before. Wait, what the fuck?
We're subsidizing Mexico, and we're subsidizing Canada, and we're subsidizing many countries all over the world. And all I want to do is I want to have a level fast but fair playing field.
Sir, your previous tariffs during your first administration
Why is he allowed to just say that?
Yeah, he's allowed to say anything.
What?
cost Americans some $80 billion. And now you have major companies from Walmart, Black & Decker, AutoZone saying that any tariffs are going to force them to drive up prices for their consumers. How do you make sure that these CEOs, that these companies don't, in fact, pass on the cost of tariffs to their consumers?
They cost Americans nothing.
Okay, just to be clear. It's not even.
Pass on the cost of tariffs to their consumers.
They cost Americans nothing. They made a great economy for us. They also solve another problem. If we were going to have problems having to do with wars and having to do with other things, tariffs, I have stopped wars with tariffs by saying, you guys want to fight, it's great, but both of you are going to pay tariffs to the United States at 100%.
Is he talking about sanctions?
Oh.
Or what is he? You were going to say not necessarily? No, I'm just, the whole point of a tariff is to make something more expensive. It's like telling a guy, you're benching 135 now. By the end of 2 months, you're going to be benching 225, and you're not going to even, it's not even going to be more weight. It's going to be the same weight. You're going to be benching 225. You're doing 130, it's 225. It's going to be the same weight as 135. Like, the whole point of a tariff is to make something more expensive. That's the entire point. And that makes it less competitive with something else. If a tariff doesn't increase a price, then a tariff isn't actually doing anything. That's the whole point. That is the actual stated goal of a tariff. Like, if he can manufacture something for $10, he can manufacture something for $7, and he can manufacture something for $5. This guy's China, this guy's Canada, and this is America. And you're going to tariff everybody so that it costs $10 to manufacture the particular thing. That's what a tariff does. Now, this guy can hop in and start manufacturing stuff, right? Oh, shit, the price is high enough? Well, it's worth it for me to step in and start competing. But that means that people aren't buying it for $5. They're not buying it for $7. Now they're all buying it for $10. That's the whole point of a tariff. That's the entire point of a tariff. If it's not raising prices, it's not doing anything.
And they have many purposes, tariffs, if properly used. I don't say you use them like a madman. I say properly.
They use them like don't use them like a madman, he says, after we spent a year saying tariff is the most beautiful word I've ever heard. Does Trump know this and he's just lying? I don't think Trump knows. I think Trump is actually an idiot. The people around him probably know, but...
Tariffs, if properly used. I don't say you use them like a madman. I say properly used. But it didn't cost this country anything. It made this country money, and we never really got the chance to go all out because we had to fight COVID in the last part, and we did it very successfully. And when I handed it over to Biden, the stock market was higher than what it was just previous to COVID coming in. It was actually higher.
What profession in America do you think has the highest suicide rate? Isn't it supposed to be like vets or something? Who benefits from tariffs? Why would someone tell them to do tariffs? Tariffs benefit local manufacturers. Impossible. Had the stock market rebounded enough? I think it might have. It might have been at its all-time highs right after, I think. Biden came in on January 6th of 2020. Right? What are all these noises in my walls? Yeah, the markets had rebounded by then.
It's me.
I think, right? Okay.
Tariffs are properly used, are a very powerful tool.
That's a myth. It's not really vets. Highest suicide rate job. Major occupation groups with the highest suicide rates include construction and extraction, farming, fishing, and forestry, personal care and service, installation, maintenance, and repair. in arts, design, entertainment, sports, and media. I feel like you just listed every fucking job category. What the fuck exists outside of this? Well, the people that commit the most suicide are people that work in construction, extraction, farming, fishery, forestry, personal care and service, installation, maintenance, and repair. Okay, Jesus. But, okay, damn, rip. Okay, I guess the vet thing is just a fucking meme then. Why do you keep spamming this? You are ignoring the effects tariffs have on exchange rates. Tariffs devalue the currencies of the targeted country, making their exports cheaper and thus undermining the price increase. I don't know what you're talking about. The tariff is still going to make it so that you have to pay a certain amount to import it. So nothing you're saying matters or makes sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense. You tariff something, so then their currency devalues and then you buy it for the same price? What are you talking about? Now look at the jobs with the highest substance addiction rates. Streamer.
Not only economically, but also for getting other things outside of economics.
Well, again, prices did go up on some goods in your first administration, washing machines, tires. Will you punish CEOs?
Let me just explain
Punish
to you.
CEOs?
No.
It doesn't have to increase prices. In some cases, it just decreases the profit margins. There's not... If you walk around trying to solve economic issues, assuming that there are just these massive profit margins that you can just eat into, and that's where you're going to solve your problems, you're delusional. You're never going to fix anything, okay? Remember, Sam Harris is referring to Trump as an evil Chauncey Gardner in your interview. It's from the movie Being There about a mentally challenged old man being confused for deep and becoming a politician. Okay.
You mentioned washing machines. So you look at Whirlpool in Ohio. I got a call from Jim Jordan, one of the greats, congressman from Ohio.
Why is he even doing this? What even is the real goal with this tariff stuff? I don't even know. I truly don't know. You're asking me to predict the actions of a fucking lunatic. I have no clue.
And he said, they're going out of business because South Korea and China are dumping washing machines into our country. And I put a 50% tariff on the washing machines coming in from China and South Korea. And Whirlpool and the companies that made washing machines, which are based in Ohio, largely based in Ohio, went through the roof. We saved thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs. They were all going out of business because they were dumping washing machines.
Dumping.
Yet medium-sized companies can pay the CEOs $20 million per year, but sure, the profit margins are minimal limeo. So first of all, compensation for a CEO isn't part of the profit. Number one, that's a cost of doing business. So you're already fucking retarded. Number two, CEOs are paid that much because companies have decided that they're worth that much. You can tell them to pay them less if you want, but like a CEO that's making that much money is probably working in a company where the revenue is so high that even if you completely axed all the CEO pay, at the end of the day, it probably wouldn't even make that much of a difference to any, like, either employee compensation or cost to the consumer at the end, regardless. Like,
and when I put the tariffs on, they became successful businesses.
Honest question, because I'm retarded. Does a CEO determine their own salary? Probably not. It's probably going to be the board of directors that determine the salary of the CEO generally.
Washing machines. And when I put the tariffs on, they became successful businesses. No, it didn't. Not only didn't it cost people, it made our country stronger and more powerful, and it kept jobs.
But how do you make sure that consumers don't wind up paying more? Will you...
God, what do you mean, how do you make sure? Like, the questions are awful. What is this shit? Which news organization even is this? Meat Press Exclusive. Is that CNBC? The fuck? It's just so tiresome. Okay, I gotta get through this now. Be done with this shit. I need an armor piece. Not sure which one. We can't use this. Guess I don't have much of an option. What was I using prior? I don't even remember. This one? No, not that one. Fuck, what was it? Yeah, my Merc armor is dog shit. Okay, I'll use this one then.
I'll put that to good
For
use.
now.
Not here.
I can't think of anything else. Oh, it's right here, this one. Okay, that makes sense why I was using this.
I'll put that to good use.
Wait, what is this string thing? Do I still have that? Or maybe I put it on. Okay, I got 24 minutes. I gotta be done with this shit. Quick. Was it Metron's name, right? Yeah. Oh shit, no, hold on. I got a TV back. Also, I don't have enough fucking potions and shit. I'm fucked. Kinda.
Good to see you.
Let's go. Shit. I can't keep doing this. This is not fucking viable.
Stay a while.
Okay, I'm just gonna get the Uber organs and just fuck off. This fucking bitch. Who's a bitch? I have to rejoin. Should have got my Merc back.
Yes, warrior. Good day.
Shut the fuck up, Deckard. I hate you so much. I gotta be done with this. I'm not even sure where I found her. I think it was here. Die. Scum. Okay, she's still here now. Whoa. Whoa. I'm gonna kill her on my own. It'll work. What the fuck? Oh, the servers went down. This is not fucking fair. The servers went down. It's not my fucking fault. The game runs off fucking dog shit servers. But yeah, it's not the devs' fault necessarily either. I mean, it is. They're not getting paid enough. Like, what the fuck was that? Seriously. I mean, damn. That shit's pathetic. The servers are disgusting. I could have handled it on my own, but I. And she's dead. Meh. I mean, I could sell it, I guess.
How may I be of help?
We can't be of help. We got the horn, at least. Now for Furnace of Pain, this one's a bit lengthy. Oh wait, my mark can handle this fucker. I believe in my mark.
Yes.
So I keep forgetting to activate Fade.
Stay a while and listen.
Come on, Merc boy. There we go. Oh, Israel is right here. Not bad. I mean, he's pulling up, it seems. Alright, that was easy. Yeah, my build definitely can be better, but it's fine as is right now.
Good to see you.
Alright. And just last one. Just, yeah, we're pretty fast and simple. But then again, hold on. I need to be careful. I need to get my Merc. I need to cast Fade again. Cast Shield again. The
Afternoon.
Merc. Where's that Duriel? Şakir tamam. Şakir. Yeah, where is Duriel? Duriel just... Şakir yerim seni. Okay, I'm not going to die for him. It's fucking bullshit. The amount of poison damage.
Salutations.
Şakir tamam kuşum tamam kuşum yeter kuşum. Yorma kendini. Şakir. Like my character isn't even casting the Sentinel Blades correctly. Şakir yeter. Şakir. Where is Duriel? What is going on? Is this a bug of some sort? Oh, right here. And he fucking cast his ass wipe. Fuck you and your fingers, bitch. Fuck. This motherfucker casts Holy Freeze and just constantly fucking knocks you down. What is this shit? Who designed this fucking boss fight? I'm just fucking leaving. It's all about just sacrificing your merc. It's stupid.
I need mana.
Good day.
It's just creating distraction,
How
that's
may
about
I
it.
be of help?
I would never play this game on hardcore, that's just fucking insanity. Wait, oh. Let's look out of them. Wait, cube any three organs? Huh. So, you don't have to target farm in that case. Huh. I mean, not target farm, as in, you just activate all of them. So I need a key. Yeah, I'm not ready for Tristram yet. I'll keep the talisman down. Okay, I need a merc armor.
Put that to good use.
Let's see if there's any unique armors that I can use. Okay, there are a lot of great like merc armors. But Templar's Might is the best one, I think. I really like this one. The Might aura is insane. But the merc cannot die, no matter what. So that's this problem, right? Okay, Templar's Might. I'm gonna buy this thing. It's just too good to pass up on. It's mostly my merc that needs help, anyways. But then how do I get cannot be frozen? I'll find a way. No, yeah, I got an extra pair of Go Riders. See how much this goes for. Relatively cheap. I mean, not that cheap, but still, I mean, I can afford it. That's the cheapest one, I think. I'll get this one. Oh wait, I already had. Oh, wait, no, I don't. That's me. Right. Oh, got a message back. If CR slam faster, cast rate slam moves. Okay, so I'm trying to find this. Right, I like the aura. How big of a deal is it though? Whoa, decent boost damage here.
It's locked.
Oh, right. Huh. Why is it yellow now? This motherfucker has a ton of defense. I mean, surely that should be good enough. Do an attack speed jump.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna scrap that one. I don't care. Dakashako. Okay, I'm leaving. Pretty sure I have more, or I should. Wouldn't this be slightly better? Like, I don't know. Right. I would guess.
It's locked.
Hold on, it's not. You also get some attack rating, which is nice. And the other strike on this one is better too. As well. I could just suck it with a normal large
Can I help you?
I can't afford it really. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna switch the difficulties in that case. Wait, what? Oh. Okay, I wasted here too. Fuck here. Oh, okay. It's all wasted then. Okay, I'm just gonna go back to 1. If it's still up. Okay, it's not up. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? Maybe I should be content. So the one on the right actually gets the buffs then? Huh.
Not in town.
Yeah, I'll make it extra. I mean, what else do I need for like Ubers? Okay, maxing out resists. True. How much? That much. I don't need these bend things, I think. Should I keep it that guy? Söküşüm yeter. Koruma kendini. Şakir. Balos. Yeter. Palopo. I'm looking for a charm here, and I just can't find it. Lightning Wrist charm. Not this one, it was like slightly higher, but I'll still pick it up. Okay. Okay, this one's slightly higher. And there was a Cold Wrist charm somewhere. Right here. But I need a bit more Lightning Wrist somewhere. Okay, I'll keep the F-Zero. Need some Lightning Wrist though. trying to figure this out. Okay, I have another lightning resist charm here. This is dog shit. Just need a single charm, that's it. One more charm, one lightning resist. That's it, that's it. I have this one in that spot. As close as I can get. Wait, no. That can't be right. I think it is right. Oh wait, I don't even have the Anhelios yet. Oh shit, I forgot to swap that in. Huh. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. What the fuck did I do? I should probably swap that, yeah, pretty fast. No, wrong char. This time. What? Shit.
Punish CEOs who try to pass the cost of tariffs on to their customers?
God.
Well, the market
Ordered, right? I don't think so. Would they? I have no idea. I imagine they wouldn't, no?
doesn't. We adjust it somewhat.
If they do get paid, it's probably just a lowly salary, I would imagine. That would be my guess, but... Say €1 is worth $1 and you tariff European goods at 10%, the exchange rate changes and €1 might only be worth $0.9 now. So the price for the importer doesn't change. Why do you think that a tariff would necessarily, one, even if you tariff the entire market, why would you assume that would just cause the exchange rate to change like that? I don't know if that's necessarily true, because they also are still importing and exporting from other people as well. Also, if the exchange rate changes that dramatically, then you would have to tariff them even more. Otherwise, your tariffs aren't even doing anything. You're not even accomplishing anything, no?
But in the case of Whirlpool, or let's say companies that made washing, include that in your equation. No, they make a lot of money. I'll go a step further. Tariffs are going to make our country rich. Tariffs are going to help us pay off $35 trillion in debt. Tariffs are going to make our country safe because China, as an example, doesn't want to play games with us if we're going to do tariffs on them. They don't want to play games. And we have a lot of games being played on us right now.
Well, I think, and that takes me to my next question. Yeah. Are you actually going to impose these tariffs, or are they a negotiating tactic?
Well, I'll give you an example with...
Hello? Somebody just ring a bell in the background, like on the desk? Ding, did you hear that?
Games being played on us right now.
Well, I think, and that takes me to my next question. Yeah. Are you actually going to impose these tariffs, or are they a negotiating tactic?
Well, I'll give you an example with Canada.
I can see why this would be an appealing to a moron. Simplistic explanation speaks to American greatness. Doesn't cost me anything. Yeah, no, I know. It's the sloganeering. Tariff is good. Bring back manufacturing. Punish enemies. Build America. Great.
And in particular, Mexico, we have millions of people pouring into our country. You agree with that? I spoke with
the asylum, emptying the prisons.
Asylum.
And, okay.
Oh no.
With both. I spoke with Justin Trudeau. In fact, he flew to Mar-a-Lago within about 15 seconds after the call ended. Yeah. He was at Mar-a-Lago. We were having dinner talking about it. I said, you have to close up your borders because they're coming in the northern border, too, a lot. Not like the southern border, but they're coming in the Canadian border a lot. And
even the Canadians are illegally coming. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Drugs are pouring in. Almost as importantly, drugs are pouring in. Maybe more importantly, drugs are pouring in at levels never seen before. 10 times what we had. They're just pouring in. We can't have open borders. And I said to the president of Mexico and to Justin Trudeau, if it doesn't stop, I'm going to put tariffs on your country at about 25%. That's a very substantial tariff. And in the case of, in both cases, but in the case where it was really visible, within 10 minutes after that phone call, we noticed that the people coming across the border, the southern border.
If we did do all the manufacturing here instead of doing it for cheap overseas, wouldn't that help our economy over time? No, because your highest value add is further up the production chain. You don't want to manufacture basic goods here. You want to manufacture those overseas so that you can do the higher value adds, the more sophisticated and complicated manufacturing here at home. Now, if we had like 10% unemployment, a ton of people with nothing to do for work, then maybe, yeah, maybe there can be an argument for that type of work being here, but we don't. We've deployed like basically our entire workforce. Like we're all working on shit right now. We don't need to take away from our more productive labor and invest in less productive labor. It doesn't make any sense to do that.
Having to do with Mexico, they were at a trickle, just a trickle. It was, in fact, I call the border. See, unlike my opponent, I do call the border a lot. And I said, how's the border looking today? They said, there's nobody here. They couldn't believe it. The military stopped these.
But what do you do when people feel like there's high unemployment? I don't know. You just keep telling them there's not. I don't know. People are retarded. You just have to tell them how to feel about things, and eventually they'll feel it. That's what the Republicans have done. So just keep telling them, tell them how to feel, and eventually they'll feel it. That's been the Trump strategy.
Vast groups of people. You know, we call them caravans, but they had caravans of people, and they largely stopped them. Now, they're going to have to continue that, but if they don't continue. And the other thing I told them is no more drugs. And I told that to China, too. No more drugs. I had a deal with President Xi. Had the election.
Non-employee board members sometimes receive a retainer. Smaller companies don't tend to pay non-employee board members, but S&P 500 non-employee board members often get millions in compensation. For example, sometimes via stock or other mechanisms. I guess I don't know what you mean by via stock. Like they're awarded stock, or like as a board member, I imagine you have a huge interest in the company, like you own a decent amount of the stock. So you're interested in the success of the company, and that's kind of your compensation. That's why you're a member of the board. That'd be my guess, but I don't know. When we learn our macro econ course, we'll do that, okay?
Been different. I'm going to be very nice because we don't have to get into an argument over 2020. But had the election been different, the result been different, we would have had China giving the maximum penalty, which is the penalty of death, to people that sent fentanyl into this country. But Biden didn't, unfortunately, finish that discussion up. I had an agreement with President Xi, who I got along with very well. We've had communication as recently as this week. And I had communication with him where they were going to give the death penalty to anybody sending drugs into the United States.
This week you had that conversation.
Not that conversation, but I had other conversations. Okay. But in the past, I've had that conversation.
Let me ask you about another aspect of the economy.
He dodges that well because the media is just so fucking dog shit and corrupt. Anyways, what was I was preparing for?
Not here.
My Merc has no lightning rest. Gotta fix that somehow.
I'll put that to good use.
Doesn't work.
I'll put that to good use.
I'm sure you will. Why is it even here? It's pointless. If I take out the hell, what would that cause? Exactly.
I'll put that to good use.
This is just a waste of fucking time. I gotta fix this. But how? guess just by gambling a little bit.
Good afternoon.
Does Mala sell? Well, she just sells weapons, and then I guess Larsuk. It's nice and good. Or gambling. Anya. Alright, sure. I know this one, right? I'll take it. Old Kucha.
Impossible.
Trash.
Put that to good use.
I don't know. I'm not sure what I can do. I'm wasting a lot of time right now. Too much time. Gotta get through this. Come on. Just figure out something. Anything. Okay. Alright. Let's just calm down. Let's figure this out. There has to be a way that I can solve this. Yeah, I'm not gonna sacrifice that socket. What's my fucking option? I mean, wait, hold on. Okay, I gotta be calm. I gotta be collected, so to speak. Shit. I just don't see a way. Okay.
Not in town.
I think I feel like I figured this out. So okay, let's just go back to my chart then. Oh, this is great. It's exactly what I want. Right. I'm done.
I'll put that to good use.
It's still not enough. America has way too much poison resist. I'm not even sure. Oh, that's coming from here, right? Materials. I don't think there's anything I can do now. Hold on, let me just return the other char. I'll figure out something there. Hopefully. Okay. Let's see. Wait, wouldn't this work? Just period. They get right at least.
Impossible.
This would work, I think.
I am overburdened.
Let's upgrade it too, but I'll upgrade it later on.
I'll put that to good use.
This time cold resist is gone.
That to good use.
Not good. Whatever. I give up here. I'll move on. 2, Alan Wake 2.
In this episode of Paper Skies, we will discuss: is it wrong to compare the Soviet Union and Germany